Hello everyone and welcome to I'll Be Sewing. My name is Gina and I was requested all the time. People ask me about rivets and how to put them on and the different ones that I use, the different tools. So I decided to do this little short video just to show you normally the brands that I use, the ones that I like the most, and how to put them in. So we're going to go through a couple snaps and some rivets, and these ones that I'm going to be using here is all going to be the ones that you would touch by hand, that you really don't need like a very like a commercial tool or anything like that. So we're going to go through that and show you how I put those on, so later on when we do a video, if you guys have any questions how to add the rivets in, you can go back to the video and check how to do that. Okay, so let's start with rivets. So I use, most of the brand that I use here is the Rivets, the double cap rivets. These ones here is 8 millimeters by 6 millimeters. They're not very long, so I'm gonna open one here. For fabric, these are really good because you don't have massive amounts of layers, so they're not too bad. So I have some here open that I can show you. And as you see, I don't know if it's enough for you to see, it's like that. And then you have the little other piece that would go on top after you put the fabric in. Okay, so but they require a little tool and maybe a mallet to hammer them down. This is a plastic one that I have here. This is plastic, but they do sell these also in wood, that you can buy the two wood parts. I wouldn't use a regular hammer because they're too harsh and they might damage your rivets. So I'm just going to show you how to put them on. So tools to install these. There is a lot of brands that sells stuff like this, and for example like this one I think I have 1 or 2 or 3 of these that I kept buying, trying to put them on, and for some reason, as you see, this one has some kind of slightly curve, and even this part here has a slightly curve. So the idea is for you to make a little hole here in your fabric. Let's see, I have a little hole here already in my fabric. It would be to put your rivet in, the one that's long. You would put it in through your little hole and get this other one on, clip on, and then put it in here just like that. Get your tool, the one that's kind of deep, and put it on top and hammer it. Okay, and then go with this and hammer it. The problem with this tool, and the reason why I don't like it, is it doesn't have a proper like groove here. So it's kind of slightly deep in the middle, but it doesn't have enough to hold my rivet in place for me to hammer it. So a lot of times what happens is the rivet will move and it would end up crooked in your project, and then sometimes it's very hard to take it apart, and after you've done your bag, you're not gonna like it. It's gonna be very slightly harder to take it out after, and it's crooked and it looks loose. It doesn't look proper. From all the tools that I've been buying all these years, the one that I prefer if you're gonna do like a manual one is this one from Rivets. Okay, this one is called Double Cap Rivet Tool, and this one, as you see, comes with that one there, comes with this other piece here. As you see, it's a lot deeper, the inside, and if you see here, this has a little like the middle, it fits the rivet exactly in. So when you try to put it on, it doesn't move, it stays put. So when you go with the hammer, what happens? It's put, it's not going to move, it's not going to be crooked in your project. It's going to be really good. In my opinion, this is a better tool than these ones from other brands. This one, I believe even this one here that I have here, I think I bought it from Tandy Leather. I think it's a leather company. They sell a lot of leather and tools to put rivets and stuff, and I really don't like it. I mean, I would always be using this one. But again, this one is only more for 8 millimeters type of thing, or for example, there's other rivets that I use from a different brand, the Sally Tomato, and because these ones, the medium, they're slightly longer, like so if I have more thicker layers, I would want something that would be slightly longer. And with the Dritz ones, they only have that size. I hadn't seen any different size, but these ones, as you see, if I put it down, you see a difference. Okay, so, and this tool also brings this piece here. Let me see. Don't know what I did with my other one, so I'll take this one from the package just to show you. This part here, if you see, it's actually to make the hole in your fabric to put your rivets. Okay, so you would go, let me take this one apart. So you get your strap or whatever you're putting the strap on, or whatever you're putting the rivet. You would get this piece here, you'd put it there. You put a mark with a marking pen where you would want it. For example, if I wanted mine here, I would mark it there with a pen, and then I would put that there, get my little tool, put it right on top of it, and with a mallet I would just give a couple clicks and it will create that little hole there. You see that? So then you're ready to put your rivet in. Okay, then you would get your other piece, put it on, see, it clicks on. Then you would go there again, get the tool and get the round part again that fits right on top of the rivet. The rivet fits right in there, flush, and it doesn't move. So you can go ahead and do a couple and your rivet is done and there's no damage. Okay, so this is how you do the rivets. Okay, so just pick a good brand. Like I definitely Dritz is really good, I like, and the salad tomato is really good also. They do this, they're pretty much the same as the Dritz. It's just a lot of them, they have different sizes. They have small, medium, and I believe extra small. They have the tiny little ones like this. And with Dritz, I hadn't seen them this small. See, very tiny. So if you're doing maybe a tiny little bag and you want to add these little ones, then you can definitely do that. And this, I believe this one is the extra small. So the rivets is like that. So let's talk now about snaps. So plastic snaps. Well, before I move to the snaps, I use the rivets all the time in these little handmade tags. So what I do, I make a little hole where a marker where it is, the little hole already. And what I do is I put that on top of the hole of the fabric, and I put the rivets too. I install it exactly as I did here. Okay, there's a lot of people also that sometimes like these little pieces, like this is like a piece of rubber, and this is sometimes is really good if you're making holes. If I wanted to use, for example, if I wanted to do a hole on this, and if I didn't have that tool, I could use it in there so I wouldn't damage my mat or anything like that. So I could use it in here on top of this, so will protect my mat. Oh, another one that I was going to mention to you, if you work with leather or maybe vinyl or anything like that, they do also sell a tool, something like this, that will create the little hole for you. You put the rivets. On fabric, I find it's a little bit more difficult. It works sometimes depending on how many layers you have and how much interfacing you have on it. But sometimes it doesn't work as well because this is more, I think this is more for those type of fabrics, more for like leather and pleather and you know, and vinyl, even cork, that will work really good on this. Fabric, it's a little bit more challenging, but it still sometimes works. See, I have one here. See, I did the little hole there and it worked. I only have like foam here and one fabric and they work just fine. Okay, that's about rivets. Let's talk about snaps, plastic snaps. So I have here some. My favorite brand that I tend to buy all the time is Babyville. There is, Dritz has some, and there's Cam Snaps. There's so many other brands out there. I tend to always go to Babyville. For some reason, I find that they're slightly stronger. So, and these to apply these, they're very simple. You're gonna need a tool. This definitely gonna need a tool. You cannot do it with a hammer. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see. Let's have a look. So I have one here, and so the way they work male and female, and two outside parts. So two outside, and let's see my other one. Like that. So you would be needing those 4 pieces. Two will be the same, two will be the same as those. And one is a curve, like it's more deeper like that, and then that one would go on the inside. So you need one of each. So how do you install this? The tool generally brings something like this for you to poke a hole. So you poke a hole in your fabric, you mark it where you want it to put it on with a little dot, and then you make the little hole there, and then you're gonna go ahead and put that in. Okay, you can put it that one, and then you're gonna get one of these and put it on top. Then you're gonna need a tool something like this. Mine is fairly old. I had this for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and it still works. It's just you need to put a little bit more strength because my rubber piece here, it's getting a little dull already because I've used it so many times. I've been using this thing for a good 10 years and it's still going. So you put that one on top, and then that part here, the bottom part, it's gonna go right to the bottom of your tool. So bottom, so it's gonna sit there in there perfectly. And normally this tool brings also a different size here of the bottom, so if you have smaller snaps you can use a different size to put on the bottom. And then you're gonna go ahead and then you press it, you really press it, and you have to put quite a bit of strength on it. Okay, so then you're gonna get your other one, and let's put it over here so we can try to see if it closes. I'm gonna make another little hole here. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put that in through there. Get my other side and do the same thing. So I'm not gonna put a lot of pressure on this one, so because I want to show you what happens if you don't put enough pressure sometimes. So I'm gonna go ahead and go like that. So a lot of times, sometimes you put these on and you go like this and you don't seem to click. See, this one is actually, maybe I put enough pressure, but sometimes when you go like this they don't click and they don't make that sound. You hear that sound? If they don't make that sound, is because you didn't put enough pressure. So what you do is, a lot of times if the rubber is like mine, sometimes is a little bit weaker, you can definitely take this off, and you see you have that part there, that little metal, and you can go here and just put it with that metal and put a little bit more pressure, because sometimes the middle of the plastic, it didn't bend properly, and that's what's affecting your snap not to close properly. Put a little bit more pressure, but don't put too much, otherwise you'll break it. Just a little bit more. You can go on both. And then when you go, they should be perfect. See? Perfect. They make the sound, they're working perfect. Okay? So that's the plastic snaps, and you can use those for so many things. Sunglass cases, all kinds of different things that you're working on, and sometimes bags, pockets, all kinds of different things. So I'm going to put my rubber back so I don't lose it. Then of course there's metal ones. These metal ones, again, there's these ones that come sometimes with a kit, or you can buy the little tools separate, or sometimes you have to buy a tool to install them. If you're going to buy a tool, just pay attention to the size, because they need different pieces on the tool sometimes to put these different ones on. So we're just going to do the one that's with the hammer. So I don't have any of these open right now, so I'm just going to open this package. And this one is again from Rivets. There is different brands. I haven't tried too many different brands. I don't use these a lot. I use once in a while, but not massive. So I'm going to open this package here. And in this case, I'm actually going to use this little rubber piece because it will help me out to put these on. So I have the tool here. And they have instructions here how to put it on. So they're really telling you more or less how to put this on. So again, there's male and female on these. So you have to pay attention to that. So one is like that. And then one of the bottoms would have these little prickly things that would go on the bottom. And then you would have the other one that would go on top of that one, like that. And then you would need another prickly one for the bottom. So you need those 4 pieces. And again, a lot of these come in different sizes, but you would need a different tool for different sizes. So just keep in mind when you buy these snaps what tool you're going to use. Always read the back and see which tool you're going to use. In this case here, let's see. I have a little piece of fabric here. I don't even have any interfacing on this, but this works normally better when you have interfacing. They do a better job with the interfacing. So you're going to mark where you want to put it. Make a dot. And then you're going to get this part here, the little prickly part. And you're going to go from... You're going to put it right in the middle of the where you want it. Okay, I'm going to put it down and I'm going to get this. And I'm going to pull my fabric through those little metal pieces. Okay? Pull everything in. Then I would grab this part here and try to put it as even as possible. And then your tool, you see, has a little hole in the middle. It's going to fit right on that. So you're going to go ahead and put it on. And try to be as stable as possible so that it doesn't move. Because if it moves, it's going to go crooked. And then couple ones and it's done. This type of rubber does help not to damage the ring here, because these rings normally are not very strong. They're kind of flimsy if you ask me. But that's the only way they sell them. So then you're going to go ahead and do the other side. So I would mark again where I want it. Let's do it here. Okay. But of course I would have to mark on this side because I need to put this part through here on where I marked it, where I would want it. I would go ahead again and push my fabric all the way down into that prickly part. And you get this piece here. And this you have to make sure you put it the right way. So the curvy, because this has to fit in there, has to be to the top, not like this. Like this, they're not going to work. So the curvy part, it's to the top. So and again, you're going to put that on top of those little prickly pieces. And this part here is going to fit right on it. Going to get your mallet. Give a couple of tips and just be careful you don't hit your fingers, and it's done. So now my piece is done, so I check, make sure it's good, it's working. Try to always use interfacing in between your fabrics because they'll work better and they'll stay a lot longer in your project. Well, and this is it for today. Hopefully you like this video. I hope you guys at least know how to use these pieces, and you can actually see the difference between these different tools. Happy sewing everyone, and we'll see you next time.